no.
When did you send that?
What?
Oh, as I walk in the door?
Yeah, pretty much. Just let the intro play a little bit.
They can hear this later when we upload everything, right?
Well, the thing is, they can hear us talking over the intro depending on how loud it is, so... I haven't quite figured out a way. I should probably...
You're all a bunch of dinguses.
Whoa! Don't say that.
Shots fired.
Oh my god.
Manny, I'm the co-host now. You're in my world now.
World of pain. Just gonna... Fade that back up. Fade that out. Welcome once again. It is Inside the PFL. I am your still in the league former champion, Elzebador. Joe, joined once again as ever, as whom may be the permanent co-host, because again, isn't it kind of weird? Isn't it a little odd?
Just a little suspicious. Just saying.
Manny, where did Manny say he had to be today? Oh, introduce yourself, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm Mario, by the way, the new co-host, the best co-host.
Oh,
number one co-host.
Manny told me I'm going to Stone Harbor this weekend, so I can't do the pod. Really weird. Whenever I lose, I end up missing it. Mario.
Yes.
It was the quarterfinals this week.
Yes.
The playoffs began, and they happened. And if you don't mind, from your perspective here, how do you think the first week of the first season of this season's playoffs went?
What? Let me break this down real quick. I need a chalkboard and. All right, no, God, I don't know. I have a lot to say, but there's kind of speaks for itself. I'm like very disconnected now. My whole division is gone. Thanks, guys, knocked me out, and then you dropped the ball on that one. You're all a bunch of Yamchas.
Oh man, I was gonna say I was listening to a bit of last week before we started with this here, and you said I want Sneaky versus Kyle in the semifinals, all platinum, baby.
No platinum.
Look how that turned out.
There's zero platinum.
Well, let's jump right into it here then. Let's, as you say, it speaks for itself somewhat, but we needs to speaks for it.
Yeah.
So, James over Garrison, +2, the first one here. This was an odd one because even for James, it's not always a cakewalk.
No?
This being one of them here. Now, I know we build up James quite a bit here. We build up Manny, too, and... but either way, James was in a very losable game here. There were some things that definitely right off the bat, I think it was either you or Mike that said, James is right, Frisk is very important, because right out of the gate, Gorgeist is the first mon out, up against Sableye, and you see Iron Ball, and you're like, well,
nope.
All right.
Not dealing with that.
Instead of hitting Trick Room, I'm leaving.
Comes in. All right, get this. Gardevoir comes in, traces the Prankster, gets hit with the trick, gets the Iron Ball. Prankster tricks it onto Charizard like a boss.
I think it's just a bit of bad luck, really, because, you don't expect Trick on Sableye all the time. It was an interesting strat that he was going with, I guess, but...
It's kind of fun seeing normal Sableye. I'm so used to, all the Mega Sableye plays, the setup, banking on both Prankster and Magic Bounce later on. Mm-hmm. So it's fun seeing, these crazy, the knockoff sets, this trick nonsense...
Which really, again, like you said, now we saw the resurgence of the Mon that nearly took Manny out last season, sort of immediately his legs were cut out from under him because here's Salic Berry Charizard, and now he's got an Iron Ball. And he still hits Belly Drum, and I
don't know if he was thinking, maybe he...
I mean, at that point, Charizard with the Iron Ball was an anchor. Yeah. Like, it literally became an anchor, and it was just like, alright, I can't do anything with this shit, just...
Yep, fuck it.
Greninja comes in...
Gone.
Nothing you could do. But, I mean, the thing is, even then, there were a lot of parts of this that... I mean, there were some other mistakes made, I think. You kind of expect, at least from my experience, I'm not too... Maybe because I'm always interested in Celesteela. Yeah. But I don't ever draft it. You might not know that it gets Flamethrower.
Yeah. But that's like, it's common set, though, isn't it?
I believe it is, like Leech Seed, Protect, Heavy Slam, Flamethrower.
It helps deal with grass and... I guess steel types too, like bulkier steel types.
Yeah, things that Heavy Slam might not be able to deal with.
Yeah,
and especially with Skarm, because steel type defense is just going to eat all that shit.
Yeah,
so
it's going to sit there.
Thank you for joining us, M1, a perennial live podcast watcher.
Yeah.
Everybody else needs to get on M1's level first of all.
It's true, yeah.
He's the only one that's been here for every live
broadcast. When I called everyone a dingus before, I'm excluding M1 from that. You weren't there for it, but it happened.
Mega Medicham comes in afterwards, eats a Heavy Slam. Mega Medicham versus Celesteela to battle the 200s. Takes up a decent chunk of time because everyone's a champion in their own right. M1, you're the champion of attending live events.
I'm a champion of co-hosts.
Hey, the drain punches I'm a champion. The drain punches do very good damage to Celesteela.
Surprisingly.
Surprising damage to Celesteela. And
Mega Medicham's scary.
And, man, it would have been really nice if that Zen Headbutt hit, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. To me personally, I don't see... Unless my opponent has minimum 3 Mons gone, like I'm not going to send in Medicham.
It's probably... I mean, I feel like that Garrison hasn't used it to really clean up all that much. It is technically... I wouldn't say technically, it is a wall breaker. So, and Celesteela is a wall. So, you want to get that shit right out of the way. And I don't blame him for sending him in. But it leads to some other things here. There was a lot of kind of give and take here for all of the weird mistakes. Not even mistakes, all the weird things that Garrison did.
Just a lot of odd choices.
James uses a normal type Z move, which just goes right into Sableye and nothing happens.
Yeah, but do you think that he would have saw the normal aspect of it coming? You know what I mean?
No.
I feel like that was just bad luck. You know what I mean?
I don't even know.
The thing with like Z Captain, Protean, Greninja, it's like it could be any stab Z move.
It could be, and that's why it's a good choice to have him as the Z Captain, even though we've seen sparse.
Yeah,
Greninja-ing going on.
But unfortunately, he just happened to choose normal, and then
again we were trying to figure out Hyper Beam. Like
that would have been a scary Z Hyper Beam. Unfortunately, he just had to happen in normal type.
I don't know.
That's the beauty of Sableye. 3 immunities. That's gross. That's a lot of immunities.
Oh yeah, who else gets 3 immunities that I was looking at? Miss Majors with Levitate. That's why. Okay.
Yeah,
Either
fair
way.
enough.
But what turns it around, I think, because James even said himself after the battle, there comes a time when it was right after Sableye died to Gardevoir, I think, at that point. And here's Jolteon. We know Jolteon is Specs. It has either Volt Switched or left. Oh, Murphy's here too. You didn't miss much, Murphy. We're talking about your battle last, obviously, because...
your battle last, you get talked about last.
Shit.
Boom!
Shit. The Volt Absorb. Yeah. Trace Volt Absorb. Trace has been a problem. Everybody gets tricked by Trace at least once a season if they face it, presumably. There were 3 Pokemon that were not weak to Shadow Ball. Or excuse me, 3 Pokemon that didn't resist Shadow Ball.
Yeah.
And 1 that did. That's kind of papery.
That's very, very papery.
So...
Especially 110 with Specs...
110 with Specs.
It ain't taking many. It resists it or not. It's not going to hang out there.
No, and I feel like, I don't know if he thought that, like, oh, he's going to think I'm going to hit Shadow Ball here, so Greninja's coming in, let me hit Thunderbolt real quick. And in the moment, lapsed Trace, and oh no,
Oof.
You give the Volt Absorb health back to Gardevoir, and then we see when Jolteon ends up coming back in later that Shadow Ball kills there, and then at that point, James even said, like, you know, after the battle, he's like, you know, Greninja comes in, and then I don't know what happens, because Lycanroc gets I'd say a pretty lucky crit.
A very lucky crit.
Through the Aurora Veil.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's just Accelerock just myrtleizes.
Destroys.
Yeah. So
it was over.
It was too bad for Garrison. He fought the good fight in that one. Garrison has had 2 very strong seasons so far, both going up against Manny and James in the playoffs.
Yeah, not fun. Sorry, bud.
Respective seasons, so we all have that experience here. Let's move on to the next match where the man mysterious by his absence. Dan getting the win over Manny, +2 here. You and I were talking about, before the match, we watched it here, Manny didn't... Last week, longest game, 80 turns.
Yeah.
Dan had nothing for the core that Manny has. And this week we see a Retaliate Ambipom that's banded. We see Regice coming in. We see the Rocky Helmet to kind of help move some things along, especially when Manny's hitting U-turn all the fucking time.
Mad pivots. Pivot only gets you so far, especially when you trade momentum away with it.
Which happened 3 times in the match.
Yeah.
Twice by Manny, so, you know, Dan's not completely... the blood's on his hands, too.
He's not guilt-free.
But I think that Manny even said, the first thing he told me after the match, wasn't ready for Ambipom, didn't even...
No?
Because, again, it's not something that you normally see. Again, a lot of times we get blinded by the ability of a Pokemon, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Where, in this one, you see both Technician and Skill Link, where those are your immediate thoughts of Ambipom is going to be one of these two, and not Choice Banded Retaliate.
Not Choice Banded Retaliate. That is...
that's the kind of ingenuity you need to bring to the goddamn playoffs.
So like it's like different than like Scarf Retaliate,
Slacking,
because that's like one of the gimmicks.
Yeah,
like, that's one of the sets,
right?
But like this was out of nowhere. I've never, from all my time playing, I've never seen Retaliate on Ambipom,
and I don't think it killed any of the Mons, but it took out chunks of 40 and 50 at a time.
It put so much pressure.
It did.
Like surprise pressure, because when you think of it like that, you don't have access to protect. You don't have a way to like maneuver around it. Like something's gonna get hit by it, because Ambipom's a fast boy,
and he's got 100 attack, which you put a band on that, and suddenly
it's a threat.
Suddenly it's a little scarier.
And I know like Registeel was there, but even you said like, if he had a fighting move, banded were fighting.
Could have been a problem.
Yeah.
Probably get superpower, or even a banded Brick Break. Probably would have done a lot.
What was it? Like, I think you can get, like, Technician low kick.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so none of that's fun.
I thought low kick space power was based off of...
Wait. Which is scary for Registeel, but also if it's a smaller Pokemon,
it becomes more powerful.
It gets boosted by Technician. That's the play.
That's a pretty good straight. Low kick is a move that I often will see in a Pokemon's roster when looking on Smogon and be like, he's going to bring that, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then nobody brings it.
Well, who was it? Who had Mega Tyranitar last season? Mike. So that's one of the things that I had Mitch used to beat him. Was his Tyranitar. Yeah. His Tyranitar got low kick. They both get low kick.
That was the thing. Every time I think it was every time I prepared for... Somebody had Weavile one season, and I had something 4 times a week to fighting, and I was just like, he's going to bring low kick, isn't he? When, like, not why would Weavile bring low kick? Because he's a svelte guy.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff's heavier than Weavile.
Most things.
Either way, Manny also... I think the gaffe that people would notice the most in this match was certainly the first thing Mike... Which Mike, of course, you know, he's very quick to jump on the look at Manny doing fucking stupid shit. He's playing like me out there.
Yeah, typical Mike nonsense.
Hit and rest with electric terrain up.
Wasn't thinking.
Happens to the best of us. Mike tried hitting toxic with Misty terrain up. That happened to Manny one season too when he had Feeny, I think. He tried hitting toxic on something while he had Misty terrain up.
I think it was the other way around. I think someone tried hitting toxic.
Tristan tried hitting him with toxic, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that one of the times. But even then at that point, Garchomp is among the Pokemon that Dan has left, and it's got a Scarf, and...
Yeah, Scarf Chomp proving his worth.
only here to listen for the next 10 minutes. Oh, well, that's fine. As long as somebody listens, that's the other thing. Yeah, but either way,
we're moving along, bud. We're moving along. Don't you worry.
We'll skip over my match because I don't have much to say about it.
We'll go back to it after we're done with.
But anyway, Scarf Chomp, especially when nothing is left for it. Because after Chestnut's gone,
what deals with it?
Well, Scarf Laddie too. Also, once that's gone.
Oh yeah.
Not much you can do there.
Not much you can do there.
So we'll come back to my match here. Murphy over Kyle +4, which was, I said to Murphy himself earlier today, it was a trouncing. It was a lot of weird shit going on. Too late. We're already fuck off. We're already doing it. A lot of weird shit going on from Kyle's thing here, where I'm going to be honest, this was really, like, from my perspective as the person who has to play the winner of this one here. Certainly with the team construction, I was less scared of Kyle, I'd say.
Yeah, it was a weird grouping of mons.
Especially when, I mean, I'll have to deal with that later with Murphy, but either way. A lot of weird plays happen here. I understand. You see the Doug Trio there. Is he only there for rocks? Because there's a point where Doug Trio has like 6 health and he's not hitting memento or anything. And like you get these expectations, especially when you see what happens earlier in the season. No Mega Banette, which again, as we kind of called it, ultimate equalizer kind of thing, stops momentum dead in its tracks.
Everyone is so afraid of Mega Gallade. If there's one way you want to shut down Mega Gallade, it's Mega Banette.
You bring Mega Banette.
It's Mega Banette. Even at that point, just because, like, let's be real here, Mega Gallade, not the most physical defensive Pokemon.
No.
Mega Banette with its 165 attack?
165
attack. A Shadow Sneak might kill there, which means they can immediately go 2 for 1.
Yeah, because then Bisharp, I'd think, would be, like, if I'd sacrifice anything on that team, it'd be Bisharp. Because Togekiss was very important, Mega Gallade incredibly important. I don't think he brought, it was, Tentacruel and Druddigon, which were just, like, pieces to just do shit. Which aren't gonna, I mean, you could sacrifice them for that, but you wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
And Doug Trio, Doug Trio's on Kyle's team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah. Mega Gallade special
defense, yes.
That's why I like Mega Gallade a lot, is because
sneaky special defense.
He can take special defensive hits like a motherfucker.
Yeah. It's like sneaky, though. You don't expect him to have that.
No, it's like 115 or something, and on pretty, like, 80 HP, so you're not going to one-shot it a lot of the time.
No.
Especially when he gives off, like, the glass cannon look, kind of.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And, yeah, he's just, like, just taking those
fabulous
hits.
Look. Have you seen that, man? He is fabulous.
I don't know why you're doing hand motions when nobody can see it.
For you. I did it for you and you alone. Because I didn't want people knowing I did hand motions there.
Why the fuck was Gliscor sent in against Togekiss?
Because he's a dingus.
I mean, Gliscor's the only... Again, Gliscor's your big defensive
This guy won last season, right?
He's a smarter battler than... It was late. It was after work. Murphy with his patented strat of waiting until the very last... Alright, so I don't know if I told you, Murphy. Manny, at like 10 yesterday, was like, I'm DQing Murphy right now. It's over. And I'm like, I told him they could wait until the end of the day. So just like... And he's like, I'm telling Kyle, no battling past midnight. If he tells you you got to battle past midnight, he's fucking DQ'd. It's over. So I did you a solid, so you better lose to me next week.
You're welcome.
Just saying. But we will be putting in a new rule about making sure to keep your commitments.
Yeah.
That'll be coming. But no offense to you, but still. Yes, nothing should be sent in against Togekiss is the other correct answer.
Yeah. I don't remember.
You did. No, you're right. You did battle before midnight. It was very close to midnight, but it was literally like 11:40, 11:50, literal 11th hour shit. But Manny was throwing one of his classic Manny tirades at me.
He needs to, like, take a pokey vacation.
I understand where he's... No, we're trying to verify the integrity of the league.
No, I know, but, like... Come on,
Manny
man.
don't like no slacker.
I know, and it's fine. Like, you gotta lay down the low and you gotta lay down the law, but, like, sometimes you gotta, like...
That's the other thing. You battled right from your phone, Murphy, so you were well in it. You were...
I don't advise that.
Have you phone battled before?
Yeah, that's why I lost to Rob. I made my team while I was on the bathroom.
God. Well, did you battle in the bathroom? Or...
No, I went outside and smoked a cigarette.
You made your team in the bathroom, I thought.
Yeah, and then I went outside and smoked a cigarette. But like I'm sitting there. I'm not gonna go through like multiple tabs and different apps. And I didn't even look at Rob's team. I was like, I don't care. He needs a win.
And you gave it to him. Then you missed playoffs.
I blame Rob. I blame bad RNG. But I mean, I was kind of... Well, we talked about that like 2 weeks ago.
No, we need to shit on Manny. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
And shit on Kyle, I guess. But
I love the Yamcha picture, by the way.
I'm happy I don't have to play Kyle. I'm not happy I have to play Murphy.
Yeah.
But in reverse circumstances, I would have said, I'm happy I don't have to battle Murphy. I'm not happy I have to battle Kyle.
Yeah.
So
it was a lose-lose.
Yeah, Mega Galley just cleaning up here. Again, if I lose, though, this works for me. If I lose to Murphy, 3 seasons in a row, Mega Galleyed in the finals. So,
Move it right up.
We did move it up!
Move it again.
It's 250 points.
250 points.
700 club.
So I'm in. I want it.
Oh, man. So, and again, we, like, everything about the team's scary.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. But either way, let's move on here. Joe over Sneaky +3.
Good job.
I mean, I learned from my mistakes, which was, for a lot of the season, I didn't want to bring Sand. I think.
Coach. Yeah. No, because it's all right. So, as someone who drafted an ice team and only brought it like twice,
you get in that mindset where like they're
over prepping for this, and
yes.
I'm gonna lose because I relied too heavy on weather.
Yes.
Weather. See, I like weather as like the back pocket strategy.
Yes.
You draft
like what I did with the rain. Yeah.
Like what I tried to do with the ice team, and everyone like made fun of me for it. But that's what happens when you drink margaritas and draft Pokemon.
Man, I wish we could have another live draft. That was so nice.
But. It's something there. It's something to prepare for. If people don't want to handle it, then
it's one of those things. I realized very early on in the match when Stoutland came in that you force your opponent into a certain situation with Sand a lot of times because he needed to send in Tangrowth or something was going to die, and it was only by sheer luck that I get the crit. But Tangrowth is a Pokemon. I mean, he could knock off the band. Or he could
ruin you. He could ruin you.
He could. That's the thing. If he was running like a full D...
Survive the hit Leaf Storm.
Yeah. You could run Rocky Helmet sets and things like that. You know, things to like literally just boom, big fucking wall. And I don't know if he went...
get over it.
Yeah, and he might have went with AV or something. The thing is, I hinged my bets on Sneaky being a fairly new player, not really knowing, you know, he could have brought Rabombi. He could have got the sticky webs out. He could have fucking went like...
I was so afraid of Rabombi every time I played him.
Did you bring it either time?
I don't think he brought Rabombi at all. He might have brought it like once.
Like twice, I think.
Like twice.
Once in the loss against Kyle where I completely misread the team and gave him the wrong strats.
Yeah.
But in this, like, it was basically hinging my bets on he's not going to know how to properly prepare for Sand. And he didn't, basically. And I brought both... Because one Sand Rush guy is bad enough, but then you got fucking Excadrill in the back pocket.
Yeah, when you double dip.
It's a
Excadrill on his own is a good mon.
That's the other thing. That's what I like about Excadrill. He can run sets. You know, the Mold Breaker set is very good on Excadrill. Yeah. He's still got fucking 135 attack.
Yeah. He's not a slow boy either.
All right, so Mario, we have a request from Murphy here. How do you beat me?
Huh?
How do you beat me?
Please tell me how do you beat Joe me? More, please. Loving this.
Taking all the strats down. I'm just telling it like it is.
Telling it like it is. Yeah, I need to think about this one for a second.
All right, okay.
You have your comfort mons on your team?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Oh yeah, no, Cryogill's definitely a comfort mon. It's
not even that though.
I ripped Cryogonal from
the only thing I've written down so far, Togekiss.
That's okay.
Perfect.
Very good with that. I'm fine with
scary.
Togekiss is a very good strat against me.
Yeah. It's a bit of a monster. Out-tank.
Out-tank? Yeah, that's probably... Yeah, that's... Because that's the thing, is it's...
You have a lot of, crash and burn mons.
If the Sand's coming, it's coming hard and fast. And you gotta find a way to deal with that.
Yeah.
Which I I don't know what the fuck I was doing in my battle against James, because I was in your position once. It needs to be more expensive. Fucking, they're both 160.
Yeah.
We are moving Stoutland up, I believe.
Again,
yes, to 100. On the guy, because me and Manny had a big conversation this week about Pokemon that were moving up next season. And basically, he was just like, Stoutland needs to move to 3. Like, okay, let's move Mega Swampert to 1. And he's like, whoa, wait a minute.
So Manny's drafting Rain Team next season, I'm guessing?
I did eventually get him to go, so Mega Swampert will be Tier 1 as well, because again, it's so weird the way the conversation went, because it was basically, we need to judge them on their own merits and not their potential. But we also need to move Stoutland up. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Nobody's gonna draft Stoutland without Sand.
You need one without the other. Now, like, with Sand, he has a lot of utility.
He does. That's the other thing.
Even, like, it's that whole subverting expectations. Stoutland season, was it 3?
Mike was using it last season with, like, Intimidate sets a lot of the time.
Intimidate AV is a good one. Band Scrappy is a good one.
Yeah.
Like, Bulky Scrappy is a good one.
I forgot to get Scrappy.
Yeah! All of his abilities are good. All of his abilities are good.
That's the other thing. You run Sand, but you could also put, like, Scarf Scrappy on him.
And then it's like,
it's the same thing. Like,
you think every time he's coming, I'm gonna just plug in this ghost. It's like, no, you're not. Get it out. That's what happened with James and Tyler.
Yeah, no, I remember that. That was the whole thing. Yeah,
James and I think it was like Mega Sableye or something like that.
Yeah, no, and
it was gone. Oko. He looks at me. It was on my birthday. He's like, Mario, this is my present to you. This is my present to you, Mario. And just clicks return. I'm like, what? Like, Sand's up. Scrappy. Oko. Gone.
Oh my god. And like we were saying with Excadrill too, you run, it's good. It's like the main set on it is like the fucking Mold Breaker rock set to get past like Magic Bounce people, and things like that. Which also that's another fun thing.
Hilarious,
right? Because
hilarious.
Valid Rapid Spinner. It could be a utility piece instead of a fucking Punchmon, and that's what I like about it too. Is that's the thing. Is I'm not going to give anything away. But I have options.
Bring Protect. Burn out the Sand.
Burning out Sand turns is also
the only real advice.
Very valid strategy.
That's the only way to stop weather.
Yeah, pretty much. Or set your own weather.
Or Cloyster.
Really, with how much...
Cloyster. Shell Smash, if you get us, like...
Oh, yeah.
Shell Smash Cloyster is not fun to
bring a special attacker. Bring somebody with fucking Vacuum Wave, and he's dead.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let me just find like all. Yeah, let me just find like all of the 2 Pokemon that are
like Infernape, Lucario,
and then that's it.
Somebody else gets Vacuum Wave. That's really stupid.
Machamp.
Maybe you might be right. Somebody really stupid gets Vacuum Wave.
I want to say it's Machamp. Someone fact check me.
Not even a fighting type. All right, here we go. We're doing it right now. Doing it live because I have Smogon in my fucking favorites.
Hilarious. Vacuum Wave.
Vacuum Wave.
I can't see. I got it.
No, all right.
Breloom. Hilarious.
All right,
Blaziken.
Kartana gets Vacuum Wave.
Who utilizes it well?
Mew gets Vacuum Wave.
Mew gets everything.
True.
See, I told you Machamp gets it.
I wasn't saying that Machamp.
Whatever.
I was looking for the stupid Pokemon.
Lucario gets it. That's what matters because Special Lucario is hilarious.
One of the suggestions Manny made was moving Lucario down. I'm like, why? No,
please.
No.
So Manny's drafting Lucario next season.
That's what there was such a big list of mons to move down. I'm like, no.
Please, no.
Move Jirachi down? Are you fucking serious?
Oh, do that. I want it. I'll come back just for that. Special Gallade. I'm in. I'm sold. Vacuum Wave Gallade.
Using Psychic, and I'm like,
no.
What did I do?
Oh, no. Nasty Plot Gallade.
Oh, my God.
Uh-oh.
Turn it into Gardevoir.
Whoops.
Oh, my God. So... basically, there was a lot of luck in the match, going back to the main reason that we're talking about this here.
Oh, yeah, we're doing a podcast, right? We're not just bullshitting.
So, Stoutland gets the crit.
Yeah.
Stoutland survives an EQ from Lando.
Oof.
With 1 HP. I don't know what I didn't ask Sneaky what his spread was on Lando because...
probably not good.
I feel like 60... It might have been like the Jolly one. That's the only reason because... I mean, Stoutland, again, sneaky bulky, too.
Stoutland is not sneaky bulky. When it was concepted to be bulky. It's like it's got
right, so
90s.
It's supposed to be
able defenses.
Either way, it's one of those things where the Specs Hydro Pump from Keldeo that I tried to hit on it might not have killed it.
Yeah,
and that's a Specs Hydro Pump from Keldeo. So
it's a big boy.
Yeah, that's the thing. In that
his stats are pretty great. Pull that up.
pull up Stoutland?
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about Stoutland right
Just
now?
for a second.
All right. I mean, like, Stoutland, we should, because Stoutland's really good.
Just because people don't realize.
$85.99.
That's really good.
Very solid bulk. That's the kind of bulk you want in a Pokemon that can be very speedy.
Yeah, he's got such great stats. He has one bad... Oh, his special attack is bad. Everything else is amazing.
Okay, all right, so there have been times where I'm just like, can I put a hidden power on Stoutland?
Yeah.
Just in case? No.
How come he's... I don't understand how he's PU.
Because Sandsetters is the thing. Because there's not a viable Sandsetter in a format where he could thrive.
I guess.
I think that's probably why.
So good, though.
It's one of those weird things where... because you can prepare for your opponent's mons. Again, a lot of coverage options too.
Yeah.
Psychic Fangs. Get Psychic Fangs for some reason.
Yeah,
you got a fucking fighting type coming in.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Gone.
I can't do that against my Gargalian. No.
No, you cannot.
Newts. Natty Newts. May as well just hit return.
Might as well just, stab turn. Does he get Giga Impact?
Oh, you fucking kidding me? Of course he does.
That's hilarious.
Banded Giga Impact. Talk about fucking ending a match with a statement.
Yeah. Get out.
What did out. Was that like Manny running fucking Pixelate Hyper Beam?
Yeah.
Which I tried doing on Altaria.
Good.
He had like 20% health. That's why it didn't look good.
Yeah. It was like when... God, didn't James get like a really hilarious like FU win with Mike one time with no tank? It was like insult to injury.
I'm not off the top of my head.
That's a thing. That is definitely a thing. I'll remember this at some point.
Laser Focus.
All the crits.
I haven't seen Laser Focus is kind of like one of those things where like it works. Like you want to put it in conjunction with another move. Like you put Lock on and Zap Cannon on a Pokemon together. It's like you put Laser Focus and
Focus Blast.
Oh,
Laser Focus Blast.
Laser Focus Blast. That's the Kamehameha.
Yeah.
Hey.
What
else do we want to talk about with this match here? Just
Excadrill. Rob, if you're listening to this, I want you to draw Mega Gallade as Goku firing off a Focus Blast.
Excadrill put in the work at the end. It did what it
does. It did what it does.
Sandrush EQ, Sandrush Ironhead, gone.
Swords Dance for the lulz.
Gotta hit the Swords Dance because I'm scared of Blissey.
Yeah.
Not OHKOing it. EQ, which even then, pretty surprising, at least for me. Well, 2 times attack, 135.
He's a beast.
Life Orb.
He's a beast.
He's a beast. So, Excadrill, also a problem. That's the other thing, going full tilt with the sand. 1 setter, 2 Sandrush people. Not a fun time. If I make it to the finals, it's going to be impossible for me to do that unless I'm committed to sand for all of the matches.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Murphy. Thank you for staying in for a while. We only have one...
Take care, bud.
Well, 2 things. We have 2 things before we finish up here, Mario. It's as the pool kind of thins. Last week you did a top 3, bottom 3 because not enough Mons performed to do top 5, bottom 5 for your opinion. Now, with 4 matches, you're just like, fucking top 3, bottom 3. Nobody's got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I got places to be.
Mario, will you please give me your Big Mon?
Big Mon! One singular.
Of the week.
The big Mon of this week. Gardevoir.
Gardevoir was James's savior in the match, I'd say.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it was just... Every time it came in, it did something amazing. It did something hilarious.
It prankster tricked something.
Yeah.
It volt absorbed something.
Prankster tricked
Trace. Trace is so good.
Iron Ball.
That
means it had less speed, but it still went first because hilarious.
Because of the trick.
Oh God, that's like that was a moment for that was like that was like top 10 anime moments. Yeah, and then the great Volt Absorb Trace, fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
so good.
That's all it needed to do.
And then took out Sableye.
Damage and. All it needed. Like Gardevoir was a big reason, was the reason that James beat me. So
yeah,
I'm looking at Gardevoir with like.
I've never. All right, so my sets whenever I want to use Gardevoir is always Assault Vest for that big butt, and like Choice Specs. James has used it in such amazing ways. I've never seen it utilized in such hilarious fashion.
Custap D-Bond.
Oh. Hilarious. I think Gardevoir might just not just be the big mon of the week, but he might be one of the big mons of the whole season.
And that's, I was talking to Manny about this too when we were talking about moving mons up, possibly. Not a lot of Pokemon have exceeded expectations this season, I think. A lot of them have done what you would expect them to do for their point value.
Yeah.
Some mons, like I think the Gastrodon in Tier 4 honeymoon is over. It's going back to Tier 3 because we realized it's good.
Yeah, it's not a bad mon. It's never
been a bad mon. It was just nobody had it. M1 had it and kind of didn't do too much with it. And then Kyle made it a main piece of his defensive core, and it's what it should... I don't know if it should be a main piece, but it's definitely a very solid option on any team.
Yeah.
As any of the... Like, looking at them together, like, I understand why you'd want Swampert. It does get rocks. Yeah. Gastrodon does not. Gastrodon gets Storm Drain, though.
Hilarious.
And Recovery. So...
Yeah.
So, again, you put them up against each other.
And it can be pink.
And it can be pink. I think it defaults to pink. I don't know how often the blue one is used. If ever.
And it can be blue.
So, yeah, big mon of the week here. Definitely Gardevoir. Of course, Gardevoir is not a mon that we would ever move up to Tier 2, I don't think.
No.
It's so weird. Manny and I have the biggest fights in terms of Pokemon moving from 3 to 2 or otherwise, and not, like, the big jumps.
Yeah.
For some reason, Haxorus at 120. Whoa!
Yeah, crazy.
Whoa! Fucking wait a second. A Marowak at 120. Ooh, we tried that. It didn't work.
Haxorus should move down.
Tier 5 Haxorus.
Tier 5 Haxorus. Let's go.
We always have conversations.
Fracturous.
We always have conversations about just doing stupid shit for the seasons, like moving literally everything down one tier to the point where Tier 5 mons are free. And they don't cost a trade and pick up to move. That would be the worst.
Chaos. That'd be... You guys would have so much work on your hands.
It's always these like seasons that are never... These like 90 seasons down the road that are never going to happen. It's like the 700 Club.
I want it. First round pick, Primal Groudon.
Completely chaotic season.
I will pick all Tier 5s after that.
So, we got 2 other things to talk about here. They are matches. The semifinals are this week. Top 4, the big dogs, as it were. James and Dan fought earlier this season. By the way, I did mention this in the chat. All 3 people that are left are people that I've lost to.
Yes, you did. Yeah, and it's funny to me.
However, if I win this season, Sneaky beat me, Murphy beat me, whoever wins that match beat me. Redemption! Top 10 anime redemptions.
Top 10 anime redemptions. Love me my animes.
James versus Dan. Lipard did a lot of work the first time. I don't know if he can rely on that again here. Dan has been a bit of a surprising story, I'd say, this season. Getting the playoffs at 4 and 5. Very amicable. You know, I've been there. I've been in the top 4 at 4 and 5. It's not a fun place to be. I lost to Thomas, though, in his perfect season that season. So, with any luck, he'll do better than me. I mean, either way, lost to both of them. Both of them were like last turn losses too, so very winnable games. I don't want to fight either of them though.
No.
James is gonna have to try to find a way. I don't know if his normal strats can work in this one necessarily, just because Dan has the Reggies. He could just switch in Regirock for a fucking resisted explosion. It's gonna do, like on fucking Gourgeist, it's gonna do 11% damage.
Yeah.
It's not gonna do anything. Even Silvally, if Silvally's like normal choice band or something, explosion. No, he's gotta like he could just switch in Regirock on like Marowak can get Earthquake, maybe. Which
even then
it's non-stab Earthquake. It's gonna do. It's probably a 2 KO at best. So
but doesn't want to take that.
And he's gonna take Rock Slide right back. Yeah, or even fucking Stone Edge, whatever it's gonna be. Yeah. Regirock has the ability to get around these things. So it's a weird matchup for James, I think, because a lot of his strats are going to kind of fall to the wayside. Gardevoir can't do as much if it's running into Regice. like Crobat is a very good, just defensive option that he's been using every so often. Again, you get those Super Fangs out, like I've been doing with Golbat. Suddenly, a lot of the Pokemon that were scarier before are now in kill range for Garchomp.
Jesus.
Trick Room might be. I mean, even then, there's nothing amazingly fast on Dan's team, I don't think, other than like Ambipom, who's like 115.
Yeah. So
it's not the best. But like Trick Room isn't a guarantee for James either, because Dan doesn't have a main option that's like a go-to smack 'em option.
Yeah.
Other than Garchomp, with even at 102, you can work with that. Like
that's a stretch.
But I'd say that and Mega Guard too. At just flat 100. Oh, Guard versus Mega Guard. Didn't think about it.
Ooh.
Bring your Shadow Balls. Trade Shadow Balls, baby. But
James, make yours male. Just for the lulz.
But what do you think will happen? Honestly, it's a toss-up for me. I'd like to think James has the pedigree. We would expect, again, when these two met the first time, James has ways around these things, though. I'd think that just for precedence, I'd have to take James on this one, but I could very easily see Dan beating him. How do you feel about this one?
I still think James has tricks up his sleeve that he's not spending yet. So I'm giving it to my boy James.
I understandably so. It's again, the pedigree is there. He's got the championship. I don't want to face James in a championship again. Murphy probably doesn't want to face James in a championship again.
I don't think anyone wants to play James in a championship. I don't think anyone wants to play James.
That's true. Did I tell you? Actually, I think Manny and I are the only people who had this conversation. I felt a little robbed, honestly, when Dan beat Manny, because can you guess how many times have James and Manny faced off in the playoffs in our 7 seasons?
I don't think any times. I mean, championship.
If this season was going to have Manny versus James, 5 times.
Oh wow!
Season 1, the championship.
Championship. Okay, I didn't know you.
Season 2, semifinals. Season 3, semifinals. Season 4 didn't happen. I don't think. Season 4. No, wait, I'm getting one messed up. Season 3, they didn't fight. Excuse me. Manny was out first round. Season 4, semifinals. Season 5, I think was also semifinals. No. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was me versus... Season 6,
oh, wow.
James didn't make playoffs. In the team that he had, the crazy team.
Yeah, the hilarious team.
Or was it 4 altogether? Either or. One of them... I looked all... Because I still have all the fucking sheets. And I know that they were in the finals because I know absolutely nothing about Season 1. Because I didn't keep records of it because I wasn't there.
Yeah. We didn't invite you.
True. But yeah, Season 2 it was the...
I think you just got back.
I don't remember.
From Florida.
But
at the time.
Season 2 was definitely the semifinals because Krista faced Rob. So I remember that. It was Krista versus James in the final Season 2. Season 3 it was... I'm pretty sure Manny lost in the first round to Thomas, who I beat to get to the finals. And you faced James Season 3, I think. Which was the farthest you've gotten in playoffs as far as I know.
Asshole.
Season 4, they didn't fight because Manny lost to Thomas on his way... No, maybe they did. Whatever, fuck it. You know what I'm talking about. Either way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that we didn't get it again because it would have been, I believe, 5 of 7 seasons.
Gross. In
the semifinals or the finals.
Yeah.
So, and again, Manny, this is technically... How does this make everybody else feel where this is the worst season Manny has finished? Top 8. The first round of the playoffs.
Gross.
Again, I did say he did lose Season 3, round 1, but that was when there were only 6 people in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, either way. Me versus Murphy. Fought week 1. Week 1's always a weird week. Weird things can happen. It's not a week that you should take into consideration. And it was a week that I won fairly soundly. With Stoundly.
Yeah. Soundly.
Soundly. Next time we faced off, I lost +5.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
It was. because for some reason I didn't prepare for Quagsire. Or for some reason I thought that my super cool weakness policy set on Tyranitar.
Yeah, because everyone thought that was so... You were so...
James loved it. James loved it when I told him about it.
Yeah. That didn't work out too
But
well.
it did not work out, no. I'm bringing the weakness policy set again. It's gonna work this time.
I promise.
How do you feel it's going to go the third time? Where it was what you might call a fluke week 1 win and an absolute fucking murder.
This match is going to be ridiculous. I feel like now that you guys are both like...
I changed up I changed up fucking 6 of my 11 Pokemon.
Yeah.
So...
I feel like... Both like way more comfortable with where you're at now. And... I mean, you don't have too many one-trick ponies is the problem.
I can bring a lot of shit.
Yeah. Whereas, if you notice, there's not much mix-up with Murphy's team.
Maybe I'd say that it's Druddigon can show up, Rotom can show up. I think that the core.
No, I mean like if the Mons are.
I know what you're saying though, where there's and true where but there's at least in my assumption. And Murphy can take this any way he wants, if he's going to bring these Pokemon or not. I always assume you see Quagsire, you see Togekiss, you see Mega Gallade, you see Bisharp, because all of them are fucking scary.
Yeah.
I think Mike was saying in his preparation for Murphy, because there was one other Mon in there too that he was scared of, and Togekiss was like the 5th Pokemon that he thought about, and that's why he lost, because he was focusing on, I need to deal with this, and Togekiss, Raikou can deal with that. Not even calcing it, and that's why he lost. So, it's one of those things where there's a lot of threats. And if there's any team that can take it, with the way it's constructed, I think Murphy's got a very good shot.
Yeah.
Because...
Great team composition.
And I mean, it's like you said, where I have Pokemon that can kind of swap their roles around pretty well, have them do something that they normally... You might not normally see them doing, or at least a set that's, kind of maybe buried like 3 deep on Smogon or whatever. But the thing is, that's the main set's just as valid too. So you might expect one Pokemon to do something, and it does, and another Pokemon to do something else, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, great.
I did not prep for this, etc. So I don't know what I'm going to do at this point.
Well, you got time to prep.
I do. It'll be done in about 8 or 9 days, probably, given the time frame that Murphy usually works on. So, do you want to flip the coin again?
No, Did I win that coin toss?
No, Sneaky won that coin toss.
Ha! Damn it. I'm gonna give it to you. I think you can pull through.
I don't want to be in the finals.
I don't give a fuck. Me personally,
I'm trying to do a fucking live show for the finals here, and I can't do that if I'm in the finals.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
And that too, but that's also
I'm important now.
You're right. You should be.
This is my show now. I'm
slowly I believe when I was writing out the roles, because I was bored at work this week, so I was doing a lot of stuff prepping for the next season. One of the things that I have you listed as, I believe, Deputy Director of Entertainment.
I want a badge. A sheriff badge.
Sheriff of Entertainment.
Sheriff of Entertainment.
And I had Thomas listed as New York Liaison Big Man on Campus.
I like it.
So, we'll see what happens here going into the week. I gotta say, for the 4 people remaining, Mario, could this very well be the most important week of the season?
For half of them, it will be.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. The other half,
not so much.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
But
I'm like pretty much checked out at this point.
You should be excited.
Yeah.
Watch the battles. Get excited like that's the thing. I wanted to take it back so I could look and be like, wow, the league.
I actually forgot it existed for like 2 days. I was like, oh yeah, there's replays to watch. That's why you battled on like what, Tuesday? I texted you last night.
Yeah. Hey buddy, you win? Yeah.
It's like Just, oh yeah, this exists. We have this thing, PFL. I remember now.
You gotta be engaged. You gotta engage the audience.
I'm so engaged, guys. I'll slam like 2 coffees before we do this.
Well, it's gonna. Oh, hopefully, with any luck, it'll be the same day as the arcades.
Yeah, I gotta get the day off.
Oh, you don't have the day off.
I'm 7th on the list for PTO,
oh, boy.
so it's not looking good. I might save my 1 Magic Pass day for. You didn't hear that, guys.
Oh. Shh. 5,000. All right. Well, I think then we'll close the book on the quarterfinals weekend. It's not the semifinals yet.
Yeah.
So it is now the semifinals.
Q-dubs.
So the QD here, Quiver Dance. Why are we putting a D in there for quarterfinals? QF.
Dub for W.
Too awful sounding.
Dub for W.
Because you got to get
QW.
Because you got to get the W.
Yeah.
What is the W standing for? Oh, quarterfinals week. Look at me. Look at me.
Quarter week.
Egg all over my face. I've been trying
Semi-week, quarter week, final week.
I've been trying to end this podcast for 5 minutes now.
I need a cigarette. Double deuces or whatever. I don't know. See you guys.
We're gone. Let me play the fucking outro.
Yeah, don't even bother. Just hard.
I'm not gonna hard out.
Hard out.
I opened up the outro, so we're playing the outro. No, I always mute it by mistake.
30 seconds.
That's the sound of Mario with cigarettes.